Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back for the last time to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my wife, Carol. How are you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
How much? It's been a good week here. It's May 19th, 2000.
It is.
Last night, the final 2 episodes of Beverly Hills 90210 aired.
I'm still processing.
The Penultimate and Ode to Joy. The Penultimate is the last one before the last one.
It seemed overall kind of fucking cheesy and rushed. What do you think?
100% cheesy and rushed until it wasn't. Like, so...
Well, yeah, then they took forever.
There was like huge pacing issues to like presenting these. Maybe years from now, if people watch these as separate episodes, and not aired back to back on one night like we did, maybe it works a little bit better, I guess. But watching, because one flows right into the other, really, and watching one and the other back to back, like I said, there's a lot of pacing issues. Like, we're really like bang, 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 bang through storylines and closing storylines and everything until we get to the wedding, which we view in seemingly real time.
Right. Yeah, it's quite in depth for a wedding.
Yeah.
For a TV wedding.
There were times during their vows that I'm just like, okay, let's go. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they wrote their own vows?
And then they have the traditional vows read as well.
Right. And we watched the exchanging of rings, like the whole thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I assume what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to be crying and like, oh my God, and like so invested in these two and everything. I'm just not. So I don't know if that's that. How did you guys experience it? Were you invested?
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I did get a little bit misty at the very end of the wedding. Just a little.
I mean, there were some emotional moments for sure. I'll tell you what, either the director really loves Tiffany Amber Thiessen and showing her, or I don't know, they felt bad about what happened to her on the show. Like, I don't know if she got forced out or she left on her own. I don't know what the fuck happened with her. We know a lot more about what happened with Shannon Doherty,
right?
But I don't know what happened with her. But she was like, the second episode comes on, the Ode to Joy episode, the last episode of the show, and suddenly she's like in every fucking scene. It's so weird.
I love her dress, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, she looked gorgeous as always.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not just the actress. Anyone would look gorgeous in that dress. That is an amazing dress.
I don't think anyone would look gorgeous in that dress.
It was a good dress.
I think there are a lot of people that you would look gorgeous in that dress.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people. I think it was a very nice dress, but you have to have a body too. You know.
Yeah, I guess. But
you can't be the stripper they hired. They wouldn't look good in that dress.
Oh my God.
So I don't know exactly where and how you want to start. It's difficult to talk about these 2 episodes really in any kind of like regimented way.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess we can wrap up the storylines.
Okay. Dealer's choice. Start where you want to start. You want to start with fucking Noah's stupid storyline?
All right.
Since it's a footnote.
What the fuck is that lady's name? I never can remember.
Ellen.
Noah and Ellen. This is annoying as fuck. Okay. So she is talking about how she's a little bit nervous about him getting close to her kid. And he's like, what, you want me to be your boyfriend? Like, kind of almost like laughing at her?
Well, she said that her daughter by the way,
what?
I hesitate to say this.
What?
Not to, if you're the actress that plays the daughter, don't listen to this.
Uh-oh.
Ugly looking kids.
Mean.
I mean, really, like frog looking ugly.
Wow,
kids.
I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe she'll grow up to be a beautiful woman. I don't know. Like, that happens sometimes where kids look unfortunate, and it's because they grow into their features or whatever, but not a good looking kid.
Yeah, so she asked if they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, because they were holding hands.
So then the mom, Ellen, asks him, kind of.
Do you think she really asked that, by the way? Or do you think that was just her excuse to broach this subject that she's clearly been wanting to talk about?
I'm sure the daughter asked.
All right. Well, you're sure, huh?
I mean, it makes sense that she'd ask.
You can trust an alcoholic, I suppose.
Anyway, he blows off the question. And she's talking about how she worries about her daughter getting invested in him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she gets held up at work and asks him to pick the kid up, I guess.
Yeah, this is another day, but yes.
Yeah.
And so, because, we only have, there's only 3 scenes about this whole storyline. One of them doesn't even involve her. So, she walks in and he's covered in, paint and stuff like that or whatever, and because they've been doing arts and crafts. This is when we actually see the daughter.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, my God, if you... I hate the way they write dialogue in this, by the way, too. Because they just... It's all talk. It's all exposition. And it's so clunky. At one point, Gabrielle Cartieres comes back. Andrea comes back. And Donna says, oh, how's, your girl or whatever, the daughter? And she's like, oh, you mean the star shortstop on the Little League team? And it's like, who gives a fuck? First of all, who cares?
Yeah.
Just say she's alive. Are you still with Jesse or whatever his name was?
I think they were already divorced last time she popped into the show.
Okay, well, I guess they're done. Who knows? But the thing is that's so clunky.
Yeah, it is.
That's such a clunky way to deliver exposition, and it's exposition that no one gives a fuck about. So Ellen walks in, and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was going to have to work late, and if you weren't there to pick her up, I don't know what I would have done, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, her room's a rocket ship. It's great.
Yeah, she's like, we made my room into a rocket. Come and see. And, Ellen's, staring at him like he is the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
She's getting wet. She's like, let's go.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, I can't commit to you.
Yeah. Then why did you pick up the kid?
Why did you spend hours hanging out with the kid and turning her room into a rocket ship?
Yeah, because because the first thing she says is, can this Muppet stay longer?
Right. Yeah, so the kid likes him and wants to hang out with him, and then he breaks up with the mom.
Yeah. What the fuck?
That's kind of evil.
It really is.
At least just be sitting there watching TV or something. What the fuck, dude?
So then, at the wedding, Noah's dancing with Donna. They make... this is the one aspect of the storyline that I actually kind of respect the writing in, because it's clear that there are some mixed feelings from him anyway, or some, I don't know, regret or reservations or something. He's feeling a certain way about this whole wedding thing, but it's never said outright, which is nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's dancing with her, and she's like, I heard, this is another fucking stupid exposition thing. I heard you were moving away to do some sailing race or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I was thinking about it, but now I don't know if I'm going to do it, and she's like, oh, you just saying that? And she's like, no, I was thinking maybe I should make a commitment to Ellen. She's like, what?
Yeah, nothing changed except that he sat through that really long wedding.
Yeah.
Apparently it inspired him.
And we don't even see her, we don't even see him tell her.
Yeah, he's just like, do you mind if I go tell her now? And she's like, oh, no, go ahead.
Can I leave the fucking show now, please?
Yeah, and then he's gone, and that's
it. Is it over?
That is the end of Noah. Bye-bye. Yep. Bye-bye, Muppet. You made it to the end. Congratulations to you.
Another, weird exposition thing is they're going through their mail, David and Donna, and he's saying all the stuff of who can show up and who can't show up. Oh, Gina can't show up, but Gina got that job at fucking Fox Sports in New York, and so she's not going to be able to come because she has to work weekends. She can't get one weekend off.
Right. Well, they
can't fly in for a day.
They gave no notice. It kind of seems like they did kind of take over Kelly and Matt's wedding.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, kind of, yeah.
I think they were doing it, like, at least at the same time and venue. I mean, I don't know how they would have gotten it otherwise.
Yeah, they didn't really explain anything.
They did not, but, like, I mean, like, they were just talking about getting engaged last week.
Well, Matt and Kelly weren't going to have a Jewish guy and a Christian guy. I guess I should say a rabbi and a priest.
That's true. That's true.
Marry them, so at least they got those.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
They didn't get the one priest back. I don't know why. The one that they've used twice in the show.
Right. Now let's talk about.
Yeah,
no, you.
I was just gonna say. So that's Noah's storyline. Where you want to go now?
Steve and Janet.
Okay, yeah, let's do Steve and Janet because that's also stupid and fast.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The storyline.
I don't. Maybe this is the way real life works a lot of times, but it's not a satisfying way to tell a story either, because we have a conflict, which is the basis of a story. We have a conflict between the two of them. Okay, so we have Steve has sold the paper. They keep saying it's not final. It's not final. And it makes you think like, oh, they're gonna back out of it or whatever. Well, spoilers, they don't ever back out of it. They just sell it.
That's what I was confused about, because I wasn't sure what was going on with the business stuff. Because
we'll get to that now. I'll explain it. But they have the conflict of he suddenly doesn't have enough to do. He wants to. He's bored staying at home with Maddie all day. And he wants to do something, and he's missing running his own newspaper. Janet is way overworked and everything, but they're arguing with each other. He's resentful that they're going through with the sale that he doesn't want to do anymore, and she is resentful of him for standing in the way of, like this thing that she wants to do, working on this actual prestige kind of magazine, right?
But she's also resentful that he is home with Maddie, which she thinks he should be more, like, happy about.
Right. So you would think that the resolution would be like, like that, because he's kind of acting like a jerk. So you would think that the resolution would be like something to do with that. And, like, something to do with him, like, Janet calling him out or him apologizing or something like that. And then later, Janet paints herself as the bad person, saying, like, oh, we agreed that it would only work if we both agreed to sell the paper, and he doesn't want to anymore, but I insisted we sell the paper, and now I'm regretting it because I have to work all the time. And maybe I don't really want all this stuff that I thought I wanted, and I'm embarrassed and I can't talk to him about it. So you would think we'd get some resolution from there, but we don't.
No, and he does actually change his tune. I feel like his bad attitude...
Out of nowhere.
It's not out of nowhere. It's because...
She said dada?
Yes.
All right.
Well, and because Janet said to him a few different times, like not just in this episode, but last episodes too, about what a gift it is to be there. And then he's like, oh my God, I got to hear her first word. This is a gift. And I think that's what changed his mind.
No, you're reading a lot into it. Reading more into it than I think the show gave thought to it.
He picked the baby up and he was like, you're going to say a million words, but this is the first one, Yeah,
I know. But so, yeah, he changes his tune completely and they're not fighting anymore.
But then Janet feels bad because she missed the first word.
Yeah.
Which, again, is something she never actually says.
And she missed everything.
Yes.
They're going to the amusement park and stuff like that, and they're sending pictures to her and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, she's got the I'm left out sadness.
Yeah. So, at the paper, for some reason, this asshole that runs the paper now decided to bring in someone he knows from New York named Ava to compete against Janet.
Yeah, this is weird.
To run this new paper, Nouveau or whatever.
I don't get it at all. What he is buying the paper. He made it a rule that Janet had to stay on as the editor.
Well, it didn't make it. Yeah.
If he was going to buy it, she had to stay on. That was part of the agreement.
Yeah.
And then he gives her competition
for editorial continuity. Well, the weird thing is he said the whole reason he retains the editor is for editorial continuities because he's buying the concept of the paper, right? Mm-hmm. But immediately she's being moved off of that to a new magazine.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense either. And then he brings in competition, and they have to give proposals or whatever. And she's all laughing at with him, the dude, about some of her ideas. And he's
the new person.
Yeah, and he's like, Janet walks up, and they're all laughing and everything. She's like, "Oh, what's so funny?" And she's like, "Oh, just she was telling me one of her ideas for Nouveau, for a column in Nouveau." And she's like, "Yeah, tilting at windmills." And then they both start laughing like it's the most hilarious joke in the world. What? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it wasn't like well stated in any way.
Well, it wasn't well stated. And who cares? Like a Don Quixote reference, is that funny? I don't understand. You didn't even say what the column is.
No, I don't think I think the point was just that Janet's feeling threatened, not necessarily the details of.
I know, but that was stupid.
Paper. Agreed.
They could have thought of something clever. They're writers.
Yeah, well,
presumably.
you'd think, yeah. But obviously they couldn't.
All right.
So explain to me, though, the end of this story, because I don't understand.
Okay, so this is how they resolve their thing. Steve's like, "Hey, I want more work. You want less work. I'm going to take you to this abandoned building." And they go into this thing, and he's like, "Here's our new office. This is our next publishing adventure. Let's steal your ideas for Nouveau and create the magazine ourselves." Like, that's what's going to happen. They're going to do the Beverly Beat, but they're going to do, like classy stuff instead of trashy stuff.
Okay.
Like she wants to do. But if that was how they were going to resolve things, so they're going to take the money from the sale of the paper and they're going to establish a new paper, which they'll work together. Maddie will be with them. They'll have more time together. They'll have more time with the kid. All that stuff. They can craft their schedule around their lives. I
don't understand how they can do that, though, because they sold the paper. So Janet was supposed to stay on as the editor, and I guess she didn't. But
yeah, that's
Nouveau is the thing he gave her. So isn't that still? Doesn't he like own her for a year basically? Like, shouldn't she not be able to go work on another project?
We're just ignoring all that.
Okay.
But she's leaving the thing. They're selling it. She's leaving. She's not staying on.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You're right. And I don't know how she can just steal those ideas.
Yeah. I mean, because when you're a writer and you work for someone, your ideas are their property.
It's called work for hire.
Is it?
Yes, it's called work for hire. They own it.
Okay. Yeah. So the whole thing's dumb, but in the end, I guess they're supposed to be happy.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, if they were going to do this was going to be the resolution, then instead of turning her ideas in, I get the whole idea. The whole idea is she won. Her ideas had heart and stuff like that, or whatever, and that's what I was looking for. But if this was how they were going to resolve it, instead of turning the ideas in, she should have shown them to Steve, and Steve could have been like, "You know what? Fuck this guy. Let's do our own thing."
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been better and more realistic.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. So, whatever. But they're going to start their own paper. I don't know if it's going to be called Nouveau, but she's going to design it or whatever.
And in the very beginning of this episode, they go through the credits, and I called it that they were going to ruin who was going to be in the episode, and they did. They have all these special guests.
Yeah, special guests.
Jason Priestley.
Yep.
Gabrielle Carteris.
Right. Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah. I think those are the only ones that I was excited about, but it's bullshit.
I was excited about Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
And I know you were, baby. And Jason Priestley doesn't even really make an appearance.
No, they took a handheld camera to wherever Jason Priestley is currently staying, and they were like, "Can we set up for an hour and film you doing two scenes, two things, two speeches two speeches that last roughly 30 seconds each
and suck
and don't have a definitive ending, and we just fade out."
And they suck. They're not good.
No.
Like, what's the point?
Really happy for you. I remember when you first met Donna, and I remember when you first had sex. I mean, let's forget about that.
Like,
what are you talking?
Were you there?
Was this supposed to be funny?
It was not. Nothing about it was funny.
And he's like literally phoning it in.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jason Plessy does not give a fuck about filming. Obviously, or he would have shown up in person.
Right.
But he does not give a fuck about filming this.
And they were just like, but you have to. You were the star for so long.
They don't even mention Brenda.
Nope. Not a mention. I bet you they invited Shannon Doherty and she said no and they were mad.
Maybe they didn't invite her because they ate her. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But I did not.
She was in Mallrats, so that's good enough for me.
Yes. I don't know where you want to go next.
Oh, I guess we just finished this Janet and Steve storyline. So we've done Noah, we've done Janet and Steve. Obviously, Donna and David is the big one, and Dylan and Kelly is like and Matt is like the secondary big one. So who's left though? Is there anybody else that has any kind of story in this? I don't think so. Those are all the characters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tiffany Amber Thiessen comes back as a completely different character.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's not even. It's what's her name? Valerie. It's not even Valerie. It's Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She with blonde hair. She just comes back and she's like, "Hi, I'm here, and I like everyone loves me, and I'm not a villain anymore because we don't need any more drama in the show." And everyone just hugs her and loves her and whatever.
Happy to see you. Yep.
How are things in Buffalo? I'm seeing my mom a lot, and there's this guy, and I've told him I fucked every single guy in this room.
It was so weird. At one point, she is in a room with Steve and Dylan and David. And she's had sex with all three of those men.
Yeah, she has.
It's messed up. And they're all talking about how good she looks.
She's
talking about how good they look.
Steve even says, like, did you tell him about us? She's like, I've told him everything. And Dylan's like, well, he's a keeper if he's not running.
Which is awful. Awful thing to say,
I guess. But anyway, so yeah, she's there. And other than that, I guess let's do Kelly and Matt and Dylan.
Okay, so last episode we found out that Matt's brother died.
Yeah.
And previously
on
no, I don't even know. Matt had donated sperm so that his sister-in-law could get pregnant.
Right.
So she's pregnant. And
he turkey based her fathered a child.
Yeah, and the father / his brother is dead. Right. So it's his child, really.
Yeah.
His sperm.
And now practically it's also his child because the pseudo dad is dead.
It's a very similar situation to Gina's, where like her dad died when she was little, although this baby's not even born yet.
Right.
And she, was fathered by her godfather.
Right.
I wonder if Matt will, end up with his sister-in-law.
I was going to ask you if you think he's going to fuck his sister-in-law.
I think he might.
I totally think he will.
That, or he'll just find somebody else who likes kids more. If Kelly were really in love with him, this wouldn't have stopped anything. Like, they'd just go together to New York and raise this child.
Yeah. Because, the brother dies, they go for the funeral. We don't get to see it. At the beginning of the episode, Donna's like, hey, how was the funeral? Yeah. I have big news for you, but I promised myself I would ask you about you first.
So, Kelly has not talked to Matt. Like, she told Dylan that she wanted to ask him something, but she wanted to talk to Matt first, and then we found out about Matt's brother.
Yeah.
So Dylan asks her at one point, like, hey, did you talk to Matt yet? And she's like, nope. And he's like, okay, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. She does find out, like we find out, that Dylan is graduating college.
Yeah, this is so weird and out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, stupid. It leads to nothing.
Yeah,
they're on to nothing in this. We don't even get to see him graduate. Right? We see him dress up and walk to the graduation that Kelly goes to him with, but it's not on screen at all. We just see his Bachelor of Arts. And, like, throughout I remember, they mention it, I remember that he re-enrolled at the University of California, fake university or whatever it's called in the show, and everything. But like, we never see it. Like, he's never there,
and he doesn't talk about school. He's
none
never
of his
like,
storylines.
I need to do my homework.
Yeah, none of his storylines had anything to do with doing school.
No, it's just bullshit. And like you said, it didn't add anything to the story at all.
And it adds nothing to his character, so he graduated college. Who gives a fuck? He's still a millionaire that does whatever he wants.
And he has a bachelor's in humanities. You can't do anything with that anyway. Like, seriously.
Oh, my God. But anyway, so, she hasn't talked to Matt because of the whole brother thing. And then Matt is like, hey, I keep thinking about that kid not going to have a father and what my responsibilities are. And she's like, what's changed? Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
He's like, he's dead.
Yeah, she's so selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't even want to acknowledge that there's anything to think about.
Right. Because she doesn't want to go to New York. She doesn't want to raise a kid.
Mm-hmm. Which you'd think she would because she can't have her own. But whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they totally forgot that storyline. Who knows?
But, what brings them to the actual conversation? Like, she's trying to break up with him?
She has a conversation with him where she's like, because he decides not to go to New York because she doesn't want him to go. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you think, like, if it was up to you, that's not the decision you'd be making or whatever. And he's like, she goes, we don't agree. And he's like, no, we agree that our relationship is the most important thing. It's number one. And anything that's going to hurt that, I won't do. And she's like, yeah, but if it was just your call, you would go to New York. And he's like, yeah, I would go and raise the child. I think that's the right thing to do. But that's not that simple or whatever. It's not only up to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think she's, like, it's not said, but I think she's feeling guilty about that. That she feels like, obviously she feels the pull from Dylan. And I think she thinks, like, well, this is not fair to deny him this thing that he wants to do. Like, she's already not 100% committed to this whole situation.
Yeah, she's already, like, 1 foot out the door.
Before Donna tells her that they got, that David proposed to her, she's like, are you still with Matt? And she goes, yeah. And I think that's the right decision for now. Mm-hmm. They're talking about getting married.
Yeah.
And she's using for now.
More than talking. Like, she was bringing Janet a dress to wear to her wedding.
Yeah. And she's saying for now.
Yeah. That's not the attitude to go into a marriage with. So she starts to talk to him about breaking up.
Well, she talks to Dylan first.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
She goes to his graduation with him.
Which we don't see.
In a very nice dress.
Yes, it's a pretty dress. And they stay up all night talking. Yeah,
which we don't see either. Mm-hmm. But they stay, because we need time. We need 45 minutes to be at this wedding.
Right.
But yeah, they stay up all night talking. And they, like, because she's like, I guess they fall in love again or whatever during this talk, like, fully at this point.
I don't know.
Because she's like, oh, I feel so guilty or whatever. And he's like, we didn't do anything wrong. We just stayed up all night talking.
Thanks again for the exposition.
Right. And she's like, I really got to have a conversation with Matt. And so that's when she goes to his work and starts talking to him. And she's like, I can't ask you to not be a father to this child for me. And, I don't think that we can get married and everything. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, Dylan have something to do with this or whatever? And she's like, yeah, Dylan is a part of it or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm sure it is. He told you that I fucked that that dirt bike woman in the desert or whatever. And, it was a stupid mistake. Like, he just totally tells him himself.
And she's like, no, he didn't, but you did.
Yeah. So that solidifies her decision, I think.
But then she's also mad at Dylan. Then next thing you know, she's at Dylan's yelling at him for not telling her. And she's like,
this is why it won't work between the two of us, because you can't be honest with me.
Yeah, I can't trust you. You had this life-altering information and you didn't share it. And he's like, if I had, you would have come to me sooner and it would have been for the wrong reason.
Right. Which, it's an impossible situation that he was in.
Yeah. He didn't want her to come to him because Matt slept with somebody else.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
And this annoys me so much, is that later she just forgives him without them even really talking about it.
Yeah, there's no conversation, no resolution. Nothing has changed
Not a
at
damn
all.
thing.
She just comes up and he's like, do you want to dance with me? It's an open invitation. We don't have to do it now. And she's like, no, not now. And he's like, because you're mad at me? And she's like, no, I understand that it was like she just thought about it, I guess, or whatever.
I guess. And then he's all like snuggling on and she's snuggling up to him. And it's like,
this
what?
feels right, she says.
What happened?
Like, nothing happened.
The show sucks. Thank God it's over. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I don't mean to be a bitch. It's been, fucking 10 seasons. And
yeah.
I've cared about the characters and I loved the show. But it should have ended like 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Yes,
I think.
it would have been better, honestly.
The writing really has gone downhill.
It really has.
Did their budget get smaller? Did they have to get rid of the good writers and only keep the bad ones?
I don't know
what happened.
But so then they're at the ceremony, the wedding, and they do readings.
Yeah, they're asked to do a reading, and they each read, and we listened to them do a full reading.
Yeah.
Of Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
That's the one that Kelly reads.
And what did he read?
He read letter. It's like in the Bible or whatever. It's a letter from somebody to a poet or whatever.
It's in the Bible?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
He reads something.
He reads something about like how love is fucking. Hey, love's cool.
And Matt is supposed to be gone to New York, but he walks in and watches them do their readings and then walks back out. So, like, he shows up at the wedding just at the exact right time. Not on time.
No.
Just at the exact right time to just hear them do their readings and then leaves. That's some great storytelling. Real realistic.
Right. She reads if you know anything about Elizabeth Barrett Browning and the love sonnet she wrote to her husband, fellow poet Robert Browning, then you know the one she read. It's the "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways" one. And so anyway, at the reception at the Beverly Hilton Hotel or whatever the fuck it is, Matt is there, and I keep wanting to call her Tiffany, and Valerie comes up and she's like, "Hey, Matt wants to talk to you. I'm just the messenger, like always." But,
like, what is up with that? Like always, what?
But Kelly's not like, oh, I hate you. Kelly's
right.
like, oh, thank you. We're friends now. And so she goes and talks to him, and this is dumb too. And Matt's like, yeah, you loved Dylan the entire time we were together, and I was just too stupid to see it. And then when I saw you guys do the reading, I was like, oh, you guys are really meant for each other, and you made the right choice, and it's going to hurt for now, but go fuck that guy and be good.
I don't understand. I mean, it's not even like they wrote like love poetry to each other. They each read a poem for a wedding, and he walked away from that going, oh, they're meant to be.
Yeah.
What? That makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, and it serves seemingly only to give her permission to be with Dylan, I guess. So she's not like the bad guy or whatever, but he cheated on her, so I don't think any of us would have been like, oh, she's a bitch.
No, for sure.
So, I don't know. But, or, I mean, if we thought she was a bitch before, which, spoilers, we kind of did, that's not going to make us think she's not a bitch.
Right. And then after this, then Dylan asks her again if she wants to dance, and she's like, yes.
I don't want to wait any longer, and then they make out.
And then they start kissing. And it's not even satisfying. Like, I wanted them to get together, but I'm irritated so much by the storyline that it wasn't a happy thing to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so then we have the final story.
Donna and David.
And Donna saying maybe to her proposal.
Well, but like...
Because that's how it ended.
It is. And then when she's talking to Kelly about it, she's like, oh, I told him I don't know, but I do know, and I want to marry him.
Yeah, it's like, it's instantly resolved. And he he has a scene with his boys, the guys or whatever, to help him dig this message in the sand, which says, "I love you, Don."
Yeah, they don't finish the name. How do you fuck that up? I mean, it's a message in the sand. You didn't notice that N and A are missing?
Right.
I'm okay. Yeah. I swear, I wasn't having a stroke.
You also need NA.
Shut up.
So he does that, and she's like, "Oh, look. By the way, if I was Tori Spelling and my dad was a producer on the show, so I had a significant amount of sway over how the shows go, this scene that I'm about to talk about, I would be like, fuck no." Okay. Why are we doing this? Because she is staring lovingly at the note from her balcony, and David walks up and she's like, "Look how cute that is.
Look how romantic."
Some woman must have put "I love Don" in the sand for her boyfriend facing this apartment. Mm-hmm. So there must be a Don in here. How stupid is this character supposed to be?
Also, it's the Malibu Barbie dream house. It is not an apartment building.
Yeah. Well, it is an apartment. They have the top apartment. There's like 2 other floors, I think.
What? My all this time, I thought it was the Malibu Barbie dream house. I didn't realize that they had fucking like underneath them neighbors.
Yeah,
of
course. Yeah.
We never see or hear them.
No, they're dead. They're actually just in their apartments rotting.
Okay.
They don't have any family to do wellness checks or anything, so.
Oh my God. So then she's all like, "Oh, that's so sweet." Like, I guess it's nice that she thought it was sweet before she even knew it was for her. I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It makes her look very dumb.
Yeah, well, she kind of is, if we recall.
So, anyway, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I could have sworn I spelled that name right." Also makes him look dumb.
Right. Yeah, they both look dumb. It's a stupid thing to put in there.
So anyway, later that night, he's on the beach fixing it. He says to her during this conversation, he's like, "Look, I know why you want to think about it and everything, because you've been planning this wedding since you were 10 years old, and, you want it to be perfect, and reality is usually not perfect, so I get it. Like, I get why it's a thing to you." And
I don't get it.
And then at night, he's like, carving it out more. And she comes down there and proposes to him, basically.
Yeah. She's like, "David, will you marry me?" He's like, "Yes."
So then they kiss, and they're getting married, and it's all happening so fast. There's no even explanation of like, "Hey, we want to do this as fast as possible," because there is no logical explanation for, okay, she accepted my proposal, let's get married in 2 days.
Yeah, well, and like her mom jokes, like, "Are you pregnant?" or whatever, but like, Kelly and Matt were getting married, so it seems like they could have just taken over their wedding. But her mom says some stupid bullshit about like, "Oh, Kelly, I'm sure you have a folder of wedding stuff to help with the planning since your wedding fell apart." Which, like, bitch.
Yeah.
But if
nothing comes of that either. There's no like Kelly being like resentful or anything, or like feeling bad. There's no drama that comes out of it.
Because like the writers don't understand women.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming they're men. I'm sorry if you're ladies, whatever.
They're probably men.
Yeah.
Or men dressed up as ladies. Like
the stripper,
party.
yeah.
Which was so obvious. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's a guy, right?"
Well, as soon as I heard the voice, I knew it was a guy. But yeah, Steve's younger brother is there. And
yeah, Randy Spelling.
And he hires a stripper. Why is Steve's younger brother there for David and Donna's wedding? They're not friends.
I don't know. And why is he charged with hiring a stripper? And why does he hire a guy?
And then the guy's like riding David like, "Oh, who's hotter, me or your fiance?" And
he's
then
like, well. And then Randy's like, "I can answer that."
He rips off the wig and shows that it's a dude.
It's a guy!
Ah ha ha ha.
'Cause gay. 'Cause funny.
So stupid.
'Cause gay.
So stupid.
Very dumb.
Like painful. And the girls are having a bachelorette party, but it's not, it's more like a bridal shower.
It's like a sleepover.
And Like, the guys have a blow-up doll in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Riding a horse.
The women are doing, like, toilet paper bridal gowns and, you know, like the cutesy shit. And Mrs. Teasley is there, the principal from high school.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck is she there?
I don't know. Man, they went through their fucking Rolodex, didn't they?
Everybody who wanted to be there apparently got an invite.
Right, except for Shannon Doherty. They blacked her name
Right.
out.
It's so stupid. And they make a joke to at one point, Donna, was it Donna asked
No, it was Janet.
Janet.
Janet stood up because here's the thing. Kelly and Janet are having a conversation at this
Oh God,
at this
this is
party.
awful.
And she's like,
Kelly.
"Oh, no. Janet says, I didn't realize, you know, I knew you and Steve dated. I didn't realize he was like your first love or whatever." And she's like, "Oh yeah, when I was 15, I thought I was going to marry him." And then Kelly says, "Hey, can I ask you a personal question?" She's like, "Sure." When you guys are getting, you know, like getting randy or whatever, does he do this like, and Janet's like, "Yes, he does." And it's so fucking weird to talk about this stuff with people.
And then Valerie just walks over and goes, "Oh, like this," and starts doing it too, because she also slept with them.
I don't think that happens.
Yeah,
Okay. Sure.
it does.
I don't think so, but okay.
Okay, I wish that we had recorded it so I could show you. Guys, help me out here.
Well, anyway.
Tell him.
So Janet stands up and she goes, "Has anyone in this room not slept with my husband?"
And the moms in the room raise their hand.
Right.
And Donna and
Gabrielle Carter.
Andrea raise their hand.
Although she did go on a date with him once.
Yeah.
They got an egg or whatever.
That's true. And Mrs. Teasley's just sitting there drinking, not paying attention. And
And doesn't raise her hand.
Yeah, so then they all start laughing like, "Mrs. Teasley."
How do you think he got out of detention? She said.
Yeah, it was kind of a dumb party.
Yeah, they were both dumb parties. And there's been a lot of, it's like incestuous. There's been a lot of sleeping
There
around.
really has. It would be a fun game to play sometime.
With who?
To figure out, like, who, just, like, with the characters.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like in real life.
No.
Speaking of that, though.
The game of orgy.
Speaking of that, though, at the bachelor party, Steve writes this poem for David. And the poem is basically like, let's list all the people you've fucked.
It really is. And you know who's missing? The two Marys.
Yeah,
They were not in the poem.
I thought about that too, but I wonder if they know about that.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was a David secret.
And I guess technically it's people that he like dated, kind of. Although, did he really date Ariel? Because Ariel was the first one they mentioned.
Wait, yes, he did date her. Because he cheated on Donna with her, and then they broke up, and he went on tour with Babyface, and Ariel was still around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She gave him crabs.
I still think that's the funniest thing in the world, that Ariel gave him crabs.
Yeah. With the redheaded Ariel, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really inappropriate. Like, would guys think that's funny? Because they were all laughing and smiling and like, "Oh, this is the best."
Guys would think it's hilarious, yes.
I think a woman would be mortified if somebody did that.
This is very very accurate to guys.
Okay. Well, guys are dumb. No offense.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so he lists the whole roster, and in terrible rhyming scheme.
Yes.
Then we get to the wedding, which, like I said, takes place essentially in real time.
Yep, and we watched the whole ceremony, and then at the reception, we watched the first dance, listened to the whole song.
They have Eric Benet and Tamara or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know these people.
It's like whoever the producers of this show must really be into R&B.
Yeah, well,
because they have a lot of R&B acts, and Carol and I don't mean to be politically incorrect or whatever, but Carol and I are white suburban people, and like we don't listen to a lot of R&B. We're stereotypical in that way, I guess. We listen to a lot of like alternative and rock and stuff like that. But I listen to more rap than Carol does, but Carol's not even into that, which is a little more mainstream than R&B. R&B has a very specific, community.
Don't forget, though, that David is into R&B. So it makes total sense that that's their wedding
Yes,
song.
it makes sense for his character, but what I'm saying is I think the writers, who are also, admittedly, also a bunch of white guys, are really into R&B for some reason, because this is the act they book, and they got Babyface, and a lot of the other musical acts that they've booked on the show that we're not super familiar with or whatever are R&B acts. They're really big R&B fans, I think. The producers or the writers or somebody on this show is into R&B because they keep bringing R&B artists back. But like Brandy and stuff she wasn't on the show, but I know some of the R&B acts, but it's an offshoot of jazz, and I was never really into jazz that much either. So it's just not a genre of music I really know a lot about.
Yeah, well.
And I think most of the people around us don't.
But yeah, so that's their first dance. And they do the cutting the cake.
Yeah, we do the cutting of the cake. We see them feeding each other the cake. They toss the bouquet. And obviously, what's her face? Kelly catches the bouquet.
And Dylan is like, oh, I like your flowers. And so I guess we're supposed to believe they're going to get married. I don't think they're ever going to get married.
They don't do the garter.
No, and they didn't smash the glass, even though they did have...
Yeah, they have a rabbi and a priest.
Yeah. And then
priest and a rabbi walk into a wedding.
And then when the show ends, everybody's on the dance floor, smiling and happy and having fun, and they
use a really weird, almost fisheye camera lens.
Yeah, and it's all slow motion.
Yeah, and they're playing dance wedding music and stuff like that, and then it slowly fades into a slowed down version of and it's great, it's over.
There was a season, maybe last season, where the last episode had a montage, or I think it was when they graduated high school. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
And I feel like they should have done some kind of montage for the last episode of the show instead of spending 40 minutes out of a 45-minute episode on a wedding.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to do some retrospective.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have some sort of retrospective, but
everybody, I guess, has a happy-ish ending.
Yeah, all the storylines are pretty much resolved, and you can use your imagination to take it from here,
It is the end of an era.
Yeah.
I will miss making fun of 90210.
Me too. It was, the show as a whole, I think, started out stronger than it finished.
Yes, for sure.
That happens a lot, though, especially with shows that go this long.
Yeah.
But, overall, it wasn't, as much as we can make fun of it, overall it wasn't a terrible, teen drama, soap opera kind of thing, but...
No, it was worth watching. Mostly.
I do miss some of... The problem is that a lot of the stronger actors left the show.
Yeah, for better opportunities, I'm sure. Yeah.
But anyway, that is... yeah.
You got an announcement.
Oh, yes, I forgot. So, obviously now we're done with 90210. We're about to be done with Buffy and Dawson.
For the summer.
For the summer,
Not
too.
forever.
No, they'll come back in the fall. But we have time ahead of us. And we're still going to produce... at least one episode a week for you guys during the summer. So I have a call to action for everyone. I thought an interesting idea would be if there's anything we missed from the run of the regular show, the run of Massive Late Fee, any movies that we missed, that you wanted us to cover. So nothing pre-1994. We started in 1994, so you can't pull out a 1985 movie and why don't you guys cover this? So 1994 to 2000.
Yep.
Any of those, the latter half of the 1990s. any movies from there that you want us to cover that we didn't, that you think is interesting, that we'd have an interesting discussion about, whatever. And also, if you want to, you can tell us any movies that you want us to cover that are coming up, like this summer. Latefee1994 at AOL.com. Yeah. Let us know what you want us to cover.
And, also feel free to pipe in about the sex sounds of Steve, because I'm pretty damn sure that he looks so confused that Valerie said something about it.
Oh, I see.
And you don't. So,
okay, gotcha.
If you guys have my back,
sure,
let us know.
Sure. But for the last time, that has been the 90210 show. Thank you all for sticking with it through us. And we really appreciate you. But Carol, tell people where they can find their own 10-year-long show.
You can write us, again, at latefee1994 at AOL.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.